Greetings, my name is Scott, and I want to share with you a system for tuning the guitar for optimal performance. I posit that this is the best overall method to tune this instrument as it indirectly incorporates a comprehensive hybrid of equal temperament, Pythagorean, and mean tone tuning systems. This procedure has been passed down via oral tradition for centuries. This video is in two parts. First, how to physically tune the instrument, and second, why there are benefits and problems resulting from some other tuning methods. First, tune the fifth string to A, preferably with a tuner. I like 440 here, but one could tune to something different, a half step flat or something otherwise. Tune this, though, separately, aside. Next, what one should do is to tune the third string to the fifth string, which is in tune. Third string, find the A on the second fret. Notice mine's a bit flat. I'm going to tune that A to my open, good A. Sounds pretty good. Once I'm there, I'm going to go back to the fifth string and play the B's on the second fret. I'm going to use this B to tune the open second string. Notice that's a little sharp. And I'm going to dial this in until it becomes an octave in tune. Next, I'm going to take that second string I just tuned and play the D on it. I'm going to use that D on the third fret to tune the open fourth string. Notice that sounds a bit flat. And I'm going to dial that in until I get a good octave. From there, I'm going to take the E on the newly tuned D string, fourth string. I'm going to play the E and use that E to tune my flat, open first string. Sounds pretty good. I'm going to use this same E, not the new one, but the same previous E to tune my very flat sixth string. Now we're good. This overall is one of the best tuning methods that there really is. Essentially, that's the procedure. That's it. I like to check this tuning to make sure that I'm in tune by playing two 6/4 chords. One could do some other things. I like this one. It's an E, C sharp, E, A. Good choice. 6/4, what I mean by that is there's a sixth and a fourth above the bass note, including the octave, of course. I've got another 6/4 chord I like. This one here, starting with the open A, playing an F sharp on the fourth, A, D, sounds pretty good. These chords shouldn't sound amazing otherwise. A sixth really can't be in tune, and these fourths could be somewhat problematic with different tuning systems. You can notice that by playing this C here, this C and this E can never really be in tune. Ideally, we need to bring that bottom note, the bottom C, up just a little to tune it. That's more of a mean tone procedure. We have to take a bit of a balance, however, to kind of get the best that we can get. This method that I showed you has been passed down for centuries, like I said. It's really ideal. It's better than all other sources. The reason for that is the guitar itself features a relatively small compass. The compass is the range of the guitar from its lowest to its highest frequencies. The guitar isn't particularly large like a piano. A 24-fret guitar would have a complete 4-octave range, where a piano, for instance, would have just over 7 octaves. That's a considerable difference. So equal temperament tuning works well for the keyboard, but for our smaller scale, this other tuning method really is the best choice. It keeps you relatively in tune in different regions of the instrument without fear of having those other minor infractions that we get with thirds and the compromised fifths from equal temperament tuning or from tuning with a tuner. The benefits really are that the guitar is now tuned more completely for its relative scale, like I was mentioning. This is very noticeable when one's playing their instrument solo in a solo ensemble or a solo setting rather than in an ensemble or a band setting. Employing a tuner will tune all the open strings rather well to set pitch ratios. While this is good, it does fall short of tuning the instrument itself relative to itself. This is where the comprehensive tuning method that we did before really shows superiority. More intervals will sound more in tune relative to each other with regard to the compass of the guitar itself. Harmonics are also very popular ways to tune the instrument. Realistically, these are poor choices, however, because the guitar can't actually be in tune when one employs this method. Let's talk about the reason for that. Harmonics, any harmonic produced on the 5th fret of a guitar is going to produce a pitch exactly 2 octaves higher than the open string itself. This is because it's 1/4 of the scale length, or 0.25 of the string scale length. So on the E string, this harmonic produces an E, 2 octaves higher than open. Okay. The 7th fret on any string produces a pitch that's exactly an octave and a perfect 5th higher than the open string, or a 0.333333 ratio. This is clearly an irrational number, not a rational one. It's a never-ending series. These two pitches can't actually perfectly tune. That one sounds pretty good. When we get a bit higher with these, you may notice a little bit of an infraction with them. Tuning rational ratios to irrational ones are a formula for failure, as it is literally impossible to actually tune the instrument this way. For example, note the tuning relationship between the F sharp on the 4th fret of the 4th string. This harmonic on the 4th fret is 1/5 the scale length of the string. It produces a pitch exactly 2 octaves and a major third higher than open. The harmonic on the 7th fret of the 2nd string should produce an F sharp as well, since that's a perfect 5th higher than B, the open string. These two, however, are a little bit off with each other. Check it on your own guitar. It's difficult to hear on this one. But they're not going to be in tune. It's not possible because 1/5 of the scale of the guitar is at 0.2 or 0.20 ratio. 0.33333 is an irrational number. It's not possible to tune them. So by listening to this at home, you'll recognize that reference that I'm making. It's mathematically, or it's a mathematical inconsistency. They can't be matched in pitch. If they are matched, you won't actually be in tune. Now, if you typically play with others in an ensemble setting, or even in a band setting, such as a jazz or rock or metal or country band, particularly if you employ effects such as reverb, delay, distortion, chorus, flange, etc., or realistically any form of signal modification or even amplification, because there's 2 signals that way, the infractions from tuning with harmonics are practically undetectable by using the tuner or harmonics. One could of course argue that it's really impossible to tune any instrument physically because, well, they're physical instruments. So there has to be some compromise somewhere. In conclusion, though, I tune and I encourage all my students to tune via this method. But if you're accustomed to tuning with a tuner or with harmonics, and especially if you are in a band setting and you haven't heard any problems with that, tune your own way. But if you're setting in a solo setting and performing, and as your ear continues to grow, musicians' ears develop gradually over time, and both one's acuity and acumen for discerning tuning discrepancies will grow significantly. This method should help to foster, nurture, and to allow that growth. If you're pleased with your other methods and they work for you, wonderful. This is just another option. Or for those who wish to take this a step further, or for those who perform often in a solo setting and need something more accurate. Good luck and happy tuning!